Okay. Well, it's a beautiful night, and given that we're getting close to the end when it comes to the Super Bowl in the Madden series, I figured now would be a good time to get closer to that. And this is the game, or these are the games that will determine who get to go to the Super Bowl, or which team or teams get to go to the Super Bowl. And with that, I say, it's time! It's time for the semifinals of the Madden Season 17, Who Wants to Be a GM? And it's great to see Patty. And I'm just going to set up the stream in a little bit, but we'll get started in a moment. But anyway, how's everything going there, Patty? Let me get my pop-out chat. But it is great to see you, Patty, and I understand that for some people they might be they might be away, and that's understandable. Pretty good, awesome. Well, Patty, I'm happy to say that you are in action today, along with your man Atticus Black, or not Atticus, sorry, Azriel Black, as well as Blade Charge and your son Hurama. I can do Jamboree at any time because you're in the Airbnb with good Wi-Fi. Bad news is I leave tomorrow. Oh, all right. Well, not this weekend, but what about the next weekend, Joshua? Because we can book that. I'm very patient. Very patient. Also, we have the and then of course we have uh, our good friend Spike Ryan, who is in this case the GM for the New Orleans Saints. If time permits, all right, not a problem. But I mean, I understand it. But then again, obviously, what happened, in your personal life, you probably didn't plan on it. I don't think any of us planned on it. Then again, whoever plans for it. But I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So, with all that said, uh, who wants to go first? Now, obviously, Patty is on the Cowboys, and of course, uh, Spike Ryan is with the New Orleans Saints. Now, Patty was the first to be on the show, so I guess I would have to default to Patty. So if Patty wants to go in or start, all right. Well, it looks like we got two people uh, for the Dallas Cowboys, but we're gonna play both games tonight. That's the thing. We're gonna play both games. But I also want to be mindful of other people's time, so that's another thing. Hmm. Oh yeah, I just remembered that the WCW DLC is coming out, including what's his face, the Great Muta. You know what? Since we have Azriel and Patty, I guess I could just have the Saints Packers game be the second game. Oh, you do have the DLC for WCW. But on the other hand, the Dolphins and Cowboys is the more appealing matchup. Not to say that the Saints are. Who needs to go early because of work tomorrow? That's a good question. You know what? Well, I'll tell you what. I guess I'll go with. Yeah. I'll go with the Cowboys and Dolphins, if only because, well, you have two people that are for the Cowboys, and then of course you only have one for the Saints. So I guess the only logical thing is to have that game go first. So, but regardless, though, whichever team makes it, whichever teams win, they will go to the Super Bowl. All right, so I will start with that game. So, of course, the Dolphins are on the road against the Cowboys. There we go. And, of course, I'll just let those in the game know. I don't have to do that with in my book tonight. Unfortunately, your team got eliminated in round 2. This is round 3 or the semifinals. So in this case, your team is already eliminated. So, but if you want to be a GM for next year, let me know and I'll put you on the list. So far, let me check my list thus far. So far, I have 5 people on the list. So if you want to come back for next year to be a GM, just like we did this year, or this season, excuse me, let me know and I'll put you on the list. All right, not a problem, not a problem. All right. All right, so Azrael's here, Patty's here. Let me just get Blade Charge and Ram. Let me see. And Sly Cooper is here. That reminds me, I got to put Sly Cooper somewhere. But who? Yeah, because at some point I want to bring in Sly Cooper. I just need to find somebody to take out. Oh wait, maybe there is someone I can take out. Oh yes, absolutely, Brooklyn Joker. Now, I have you on the list, but I don't have a team. I'll just tell you which teams have already been taken. Teams that have already been taken include the Seattle Seahawks, the Titans, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Detroit Lions. But all the other teams are still available. So, but yeah, I have you on the list. I just don't have a team. So just let me know about that. In the meantime, let me get Ram and Blade Charge. Oh, Azrael is okay. All right. So So Joker wants the Giants. All right, you got it. I mean, technically he was on the list first, so I'll put him up. I'll put him down, and then I'll put Azrael for the Dallas Cowboys. Now the draft order is going to work a little bit differently. It's going to be a combination of how the teams finished or how the GM's teams finished. If this is the same team, if it's not the same team, then I'm going to go by the record of I'm going to go by how they finished in the previous IRL season. But if it's the same team, like say for example Joker, is picking the same team as is Azriel, then I'll go by how they did in this season as far as the draft order is concerned. But all right, now that we got that, all right, here we go. All right, so let me make sure I got this. We're gonna close the stadium. We're gonna close the roof. And thankfully, because it's in an enclosed stadium, we don't have to worry about the weather. Thank goodness. But we'll start the game right now, and I'll reach out to those who are in this game. Although I did find it weird that you had two teams wearing white. I'm hoping that that's not the case this time, though I won't be shocked if that is.
Tonight, from
okay,
AT&T
you got the Cowboys in white. Okay.
Texas. It's a special prime
okay, so the Dolphins are wearing their teal. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so thank goodness both teams are not wearing white. But, I mean, traditionally speaking, Dallas has always worn white at home. I mean, it goes all the way back to when, you know, what's his name? Tom Landry was the coach. Bonus points if you know who Tom Landry is.
But as you can probably tell,
all right,
the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in
oh yeah,
Arlington.
Sly Cooper, I just found a place for you on the roster for next year.
Taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
I just had to find somebody to take out so I could put you in there. All right, so let me get Blade Charge.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and this one is underway here.
All right, so we're going to start with the Dallas Cowboys with the ball,
and not much happening,
and we'll go over their lineup in just a moment. Of course, for Azriel, he wants to make a back-to-back trip to the Super Bowl, but this time win it. And it all starts with this guy right here. It all starts with Azriel Black, the quarterback. But you also have on offense the wide receiver, Ram. And of course you have at punter and kicker, Patty Chase. And on defense for the Cowboys, linebacker, Blade Charge. More on the other team in a moment. 1st and 10 at the 23. They hand it off. And of course it has Pollard.
Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
All right, so an 8-yard run. Although I will say it was so sad, or it's been very sad, you know, going from this to the next iteration of the team, which, you know, and it's very sad because Dallas had a lot of talent, and some of them ended up walking, others got injured.
Over the middle,
just not a very good season this time around. But
And he slips up past the 45
when you have Azriel Black, you're going to be in good hands. Anyway, first down. Hey, Wally, what's up? Great to see you, Wally. Oh, wait, and speaking of Wally, say his name and he appears. All right. All right, now, oh, and to the Dolphins, more on them on a moment. They hand it off, and, well, Tony Pollard does get 5 yards, and Riley got the tackle for that. For the Dolphins, you have at punter / kicker, you have Mr. Blaze. At defensive tackle, you have the GM, AJ Cool Kid. Offensive tackle is Deidre Lewis, a.k.a. Munchie. And overthrown. 3rd and 5. And, of course, at tight end, you have me, TJ Toad. And sadly, Wally, you're not playing, if only because your team got eliminated in the previous round, but certainly not for the lack of trying.
Need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Although, if you want to be a GM, let me know, Wally. Especially because your favorite team is still on the board. But yeah, let me know if you're interested. If not, that's all right. Anyway, 1st and 10, and Miami having a much difficult time with Dallas than they did with the Falcons.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right?
And certainly not for the lack of trying on the Dolphins' part.
You're moving the ball.
All right, let me get Munchie.
Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
All right, not a problem. And a completion. Only gets 3 yards, but it's to Ferguson. Ferguson was huge in the previous game against the Jets.
6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
All right, they hand it off.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Oh, of course. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. How silly of me. Then you have Atticus Black, the running back for Miami. How did I forget? I am so sorry. But yes, Atticus Black is on the other side, although right now he's on the bench. Yeah, I'm hoping Tyson teaches that young man a lesson.
They've been more than solid. They've really tamped down.
Because Mike Tyson's built different. Now, that being said, you know, I'm really hoping that young man gets a lesson.
Thanks, fellas. Let's keep it going.
That's just me saying that.
1st and 10 at the 11. Looking to throw. Black.
And a completion and a touchdown. Dallas Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb. Dallas takes the lead with an extra point to come in.
They gotta love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Now the
there we go.
Point.
All right. Extra point for Patty. Patty kicks it.
And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys.
And, of course, Patty gets herself an extra point, so she gets a point to her credit. So it's now 7-0 Dallas. But, yeah, I do apologize to Atticus for forgetting him. I'm terribly sorry. That one's on me, man. That's on me. All right. Let's see. I don't have a way to contact Mr. Blaze, but I'll contact Atticus and then AJ.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading.
All right, so it's going to be up to Tua to respond.
This guy's leadership is
So
important to how this offense functions.
it's all going to come down to whether he can ball out, and if he does, then the Dolphins will have an excellent opportunity. I mean, right now they're already down 7-0. So, obviously the offense can't do anything about it. But what they can do is respond. That's what great teams do.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
I mean, last season we had the House of Black explode. Well, we have the House of Black explode, but this time the winner goes to the Super Bowl rather than at the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, Tua only gets 1 yard. Yeah, I understand Blaze is streaming LTD, although I'm surprised. I thought he was done, but I guess not.
It begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Tua sets up
and Tua with a completion. And he gets it to, who did he get it to? For 8 yards. He got it to me. TJ Toad. However, they got to get a first down because,
I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact,
because if they're going to establish their presence, they got to make a first down.
So our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond.
All right, and then finally, AJ.
Still to go. 3rd down now. They fake the handoff. And it is a first down. And he got it to, I believe that was Jalen Waddle for 6 yards.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa.
And then Tua got to get rid of it. He does. That could have been worse had he not gotten rid of it. All right, so I've let everybody that I can let know that they are in. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10 at the 39. Anyway, there you see Blade Charge, number 36. They hand it off, and they gave it to A-Chain, but was only able to get 3 yards on that. It's going to definitely take a lot more than 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's for sure.
They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
All right, 3rd and 7. They got to make this one. Well, gets the completion and a first down. A missed tackle that probably would have prevented it, but instead they get the first down, and that's the end of the first quarter. And at the end of one quarter, it is 7-0 Dallas.
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. In motion, Hill. Well, run it here on the jet
and a jet sweep. However, the Cowboys were not fooled. Nice tackle there by Vander Esch. All right.
Looking to pass.
They get the pass, and, well, he gets it to... Who did he get it to? Oh, he got it to me, but I did not get very many yards on that one. Like, Miami's got to open it up. They can't do these short yard passes, especially if they don't do a good job blocking. So they got to move it down. They can't just do these short passes. Tua does get a pass down, but again, this is one of those times where, you know, there's being conservative, and then there's this. You know, and especially since you're down.
We'll give you the short stuff and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle.
I mean, great job there by Dallas on taking advantage of Miami's timidness. So they're going to have to come up with... What? Wait a minute! You got to be kidding me! I was not expecting that.
A big pickup there, 20 yards.
I mean, great job there by Elliott, but what? I was not expecting that. So now it's, I guess they wanted to lull the Cowboys into a false sense of security, which they did. And not only do they get a first down, they're in the red zone. I mean, Azrael Black, I mean, right now you're on the bench, so you're just watching this as the defense is out there. But any thoughts on that? I was not expecting that. And a jet sweep to yours truly. Or no, I'm sorry, that was Atticus Black, who picked up 5 yards. All right, cool. But still, I don't think Azrael or anybody else on the Dallas Cowboys, for that matter, expected it. I don't know if Patty expected it. Maybe she did. I don't know. All right, 2nd and 5. And oh, they had it, but he just couldn't keep the feet down. Oh, man. Missed opportunity, but now it's 3rd and 5 at the 16. They only need the 11-yard line to get a fresh set of downs, but obviously Dallas is protecting the front and the back. Oh, he's snoring? Oh. Wait. Well, it almost got, well, I mean, it was intercepted, but he didn't get the feet down, so it's as well as an incompletion. Wait, he's snoring?
On now the Miami field goal unit. A 33-yarder from the left hash.
Well, as long as you're taking good care of him, that's all that matters. All right, well, Blaze, well, that's Mr. Blaze Whip, not Blaze McCoy, kicks the field goal. So now it's a 3-7 game, or a 7-3 game. Oh, he fell asleep. Okay.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complimentary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
All right, well, now it's going to be up to the defense to make a stop. So they got to make a play. And obviously, if you're Dallas, you're like, okay, we score a touchdown, we give up a field goal. If we just exchange, field goals and, for touchdowns, or only score touchdowns and you get field goals, Dallas is going to win this. So for Miami, they're going to have to come up with a big stop or come up with a big takeaway or something.
Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen.
And obviously, if you're Patty and you're Atticus, you want the offense to dictate the pace. You want them to control this. And then, oh wait, we got a flag. What's this? Let's see what this is here. Well, it's against the offense for holding. Well, I'll tell you what, though, if you're Dallas, obviously the one thing you don't want to do is commit penalties and give Miami any hope that they can stop you. When it comes to committing penalties as an offense, yeah, you're only making it much easier for the opposing defense, so that's for sure. So now they're in a hole, so they got to get out. They fake the jet sweep, and what? Now we have another flag. Now what's this? Now let's see, what do we got here? Another offensive holding penalty. What's going on? And this time it's the center that's doing it. So now instead of it being a second and short, it's now a 1st and 26. This is insane. And obviously if you're Miami, you have got to be ecstatic, but now you have to find a way to stop them. Because so far the Cowboys have been like knife through butter. All right, well, they do get a completion, although, well, they get to a 2nd and 4, but Ram got a, wait, who just got injured, though? Oh, Smith is out. That might be a problem. Anytime you have an injury, that's going to open up opportunities for the opposing defense since one of your starters is out. So we'll see how Dallas will make whatever adjustments they need to make to compensate for the injury that they just suffered. But they still have Azriel and they still have Ram. But let's see how that's going to affect them.
Back to throw. Black.
And Azriel getting some time, but he held on to the ball too long. He held on to the ball too long. And he got sacked. I mean, really, if he wanted to get sacked that badly, just have Patty do it. You don't want another man to do it. And especially an opposing, defensive end or a defensive tackle or a linebacker or somebody. Well, they do get some yardage, but they're not even close to a 1st down. So now Miami has a great opportunity, especially with this field position. However, if there's one person that can flip the field, it's got to be Patty. In fact, Patty's out there right now. So let's see what she does. And she kicks it. Well, she kicks it far, at least far enough to where Hill has to call a fair catch rather than field it and possibly get even better position than what they already had. So while Patty did exactly what she needs to do, now it's up to Blaycharge and the rest of the defense to come up with a big stop. And obviously, if you're Miami, you got to come up with a big. You got to come away with some points now that you came up with a stop. All right, 1st and 10 at the 49. How many times do I need to tell you to stop holding your ball? No.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. On 2nd down.
All right, so Tua with a completion, and he got it to, I can't see his name. Oh, that's me, TJ Toad.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from
the
defensive perspective. That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough,
and Tua gets an open man. He gets Tyreek Hill. Now, did he get enough forward momentum to get a 1st down? Well, anyway, a timeout being used up. I didn't see who used it. Oh, that was Miami. Okay. Well, that was their 2nd timeout, but it is best for them to hold on to that 3rd timeout in case they absolutely need to use it. Especially if in a worst-case scenario they have to kick a field goal. And Atticus, of course, saying, "Come on, Dolphins."
Tagovailoa.
Tua?
And that's gonna be
I guess he couldn't find anybody, so he had to throw it away. Great to see Atticus, though.
Has been playing at a shutdown level so far.
To catch you up to speed, Dallas got up to a 7-0 lead. Miami got down the field, but was only able to get a field goal. And then Dallas kept shooting themselves in the foot, figuratively, with 2 holding penalties and then a sack to Big Brother Azrael.
It's Black. And he's brought down just
And
outside
now
the
it's a 3rd and 1.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with
So, and a
1.
reception to, of course, Atticus Black.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Again,
All right, they just need a first down. Can they get it? And I'm not sure why you would do that. I mean, credit is due. Credit where credit is due as far as the Dallas Cowboys are concerned. But, yeah, it would have been better off to run it or come up with something more creative than that. Well, now it's up to Mr. Blaze, not Blaze McCoy, to come up with a field goal, and they do. So now they cut it to within 1, 7-6. And, of course, originally, Blaze, Mr. Blaze, as we now know him,
and I'm a little surprised that that's how they decided to play it, that they didn't go for it there, but sometimes just take those
was originally drafted by the Cowboys, but then they made the trade to send him to the Dolphins in exchange for Patty Chase. But little did I don't think any of us thought that, Patty and Blaze would go head-to-head when it comes to their teams and the teams that traded for each of them. Oh, okay. Wait, Cincinnati. I already had you as the Titans, but we can change it. Hold on. Let me change it there. Cincinnati. But yeah, like anything else, once I start the season, once the beginning, the planning stages for the next season start, then we have to what's the word? Freeze it. But since it's still early, I can change it. All right, so it's changed to the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, 7-6 as we go into the half.
For Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports halftime report.
Oh, Chase and Higgins? Okay.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always.
We'll see how
game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
We'll see how, obviously that team is one of those teams that they're great offensively, but defensively they leave a lot to be desired. But of course that's just me based on observation of their team from last year as well as a bit this year. And obviously Higgins was I believe Higgins ended up going to the Houston Texans, if I'm not mistaken. Or unless that's somebody else. I'm thinking of somebody else. Wasn't a fan of Jonathan Coachman. Joined the club. I mean, I don't hate him by any stretch, though.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here.
Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised, Atticus, if you became a defensive player, if it meant that it would help your team win. Or maybe you become the centerpiece outside of, Chase and Higgins. And then the rest of your team would boost your defense significantly.
They've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half.
All right, so Miami starts with the ball, and they got it to Azrael Black's brother, Atticus. But they only get 2 yards on that one. Yep, quarterback or middle linebacker. But of course, we'll find out what they actually need when, the setup goes up. Let's see, I have 6 people signed up. What I try to do is get at least 8 people or 8 GMs. I can have more, but anything less than that, then I might have to, call an audible or something. Or Atticus, let's say if you or Azriel are like, for my birthday, I want to do, Azriel versus Atticus, and and have a Super Bowl, just the 2 of you.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves.
Of course, each team would get 10 players plus yourselves, obviously, but yeah, if it's your birthday or if it's Azrael's birthday, we can do something like that. Or base it around, like, say, for example, the 2 oldest teams in the league, which would be the Cardinals and the Bears. Those are the 2 teams that were there at the very beginning. So I could do something like that. But as far as the GM, I just need at least 8 people. And of course, it has to be an even number. And if it's not, then I'll step in and be a GM. But anyway, that's all I will say about that. I don't want to bore you guys to tears. All right, so it's 2nd and 6 at Dallas's 47-yard line. There's AJ. And of course, AJ is on the sideline, but that's because he's a defensive player. They hand it off to Atticus. Atticus, well, he almost got it. He got to 3rd and inches now.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about
and when it comes to inches and Atticus, don't even get him started. Don't even get him started when it comes to the word inches. I only know because he said it, not because I'm saying it. All right, 3rd and inches. Are they going to run it? They do, and I think he got enough forward progress. He does. Not much, but just enough to keep going. So while it didn't go long, it was long enough. And by long enough, I mean long enough to get a first down. For all you heathens out there. Anyway, there you see Atticus, number 13. Number 19 is yours truly. I would be 22, but somebody else has that number. But anyway, great to see AJ. Well, even though the Dolphins are down, they're only down by 1, and another run by Atticus. I'll say this, though. AJ played it smart. He waited for somebody to hit the market, and it just so happened to be Atticus Black, the running back. And it seems to me that that's who they needed. Again, this was before, A-Chain broke out as one of the top running backs at the time. So, if anything, AJ did a great job signing Atticus to a very good deal.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to
In
get
other words, he's well compensated, monetarily wise. But not so compensated to where the team goes bankrupt, or to where it ends up like a Deshaun Watson situation. And folks, do not even get me started with him.
Now Tua.
All right, Tua completed.
It's Wilson.
And he got it to Wilson.
15 at the 16-yard line. 9 yards.
Got 9 yards for that.
Enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Good work out there. Wrong there, but that's I understand what you meant, though, AJ. Now it's Dallas whose shoe was on the other foot. Now it's up to them to try to come up with a big stop.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And another completion.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough
And,
to move the chain.
well, I'll tell you what. A-Chain did very well. I mean, I know he's a running back, but he did a great job keeping the feet in. I only have 15 minutes left of my shift. Okay.
Able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So not
Yeah.
quite a first and goal.
Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. I don't want to jinx it. So, all right, 1st and 10. They hand it off to Atticus. Atticus gets by one guy, and he powers his way through. Touchdown, Dolphins.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
Atticus Black.
Have taken the lead as they go right down
Lucky
the field
13 for him.
Opening drive of the second half.
And the Dolphins have taken the lead with an extra point to come.
The running game to get them into the end zone.
Couldn't agree more, partner.
I mean, that's exactly what the Dolphins needed. At least offensively speaking, that's what they needed, because they just didn't have, like, again, this was before A-Chain broke out and became the star that he is today. Although, wait a minute, they're going to go for a two-pointer. All right, let's see if they do it. They do it. So a 2-point conversion to, I can't see his name.
Throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful.
Okay, I didn't see who caught the 2-point conversion, but let's see if we can get the guy's name. I didn't see him. Okay, I guess we'll never know who scored the 2-point conversion, but in either event, it's as if they had scored a touchdown or 2 touchdowns, when really they just kicked, 2 field goals, a touchdown, and now a 2-pointer. So now it's a 7-point game. So now it is up to Dallas to respond.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one
I
away.
mean, if you're Miami, you could not have played that sequence as well as anybody. But now it's up to you offensively to do what you did the first time on offense, and that is to score a touchdown, because, like, in their second series, again, they committed 2 penalties. They committed 2 holding penalties, and then Atticus gave up a sack. So this is their 3rd series, and they're going to hope to match that of the first.
Patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So it's all going to come down to getting first downs, but also not committing penalties. This is the 3rd quarter, but we're getting close to the 4th. Tony Pollard with 8 yards, 2nd and 2. Right now we're at 1 minute, 7 seconds and counting until the end of the 3rd quarter.
First downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They hand it off, and another first down, and a huge one. They got it to Vaughn, and Vaughn runs it for 15 yards and past midfield. And of course, the head coach not very happy with the run defense. I mean, if there was any weakness that the Dolphins do have, it's their running defense. I mean, outside of AJ himself,
back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
They're going to have to find a way to step up their game when it comes to their run defense. In fact, they're going to run it again.
He's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
So I have a feeling that the Cowboys are going to try to run it down until the Dolphins can prove they can stop them. And hello to Eric G. Wait, Eric G. AJ, do you know who Eric G is?
Second down, Pollard again.
Oh, Pollard with another big run.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of
But
quarter 3.
hello, but do you know who AJ is? That's so weird, because usually people would say hello to me. They usually wouldn't say hello to anybody else unless they know him. Okay, I kind of figured, but that was kind of weird, though. Well, Eric G., I don't know who you are, but But do you know who AJ is? Or better yet, are you just saying that? I don't know. I can only speculate. All right, now they're going to look to pass, and they do get it. And Ferguson with a big play to get to the 9-yard line, 1st and goal at the 9. And then Atticus is like, come on, Miami, get a stop. Well, Miami did get a stop, but partly that was because the Cowboys in their second series shot themselves in the foot, proverbially speaking. But now it looks like they're going back to what they did right the first series. But this time around, can they finish it?
They need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Pollard.
They run with him, and they just cannot. They couldn't stop the run. Pollard with a touchdown to possibly tie the game with an extra point to come in.
An extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one.
Fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here, and we're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Extra point attempt to follow here.
All right, so Patty Chase with the all-critical point after the touchdown.
No
yeah, you're on the field.
And we are tied here in the 4th.
Or at least you should be.
A drive that time of 6 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it.
Yeah, you should be on the field. I'll say this: I'll check to see if you are. And if it turns out that you are, okay, fine. But if it turns out that you weren't and your team loses, I might have to give a mulligan or something. Or find a way to make it up to you, AJ. And at the very least, I do have something of a make good, should that be the case. But if you are on the field, or at the very least, if your team wins, then all right, cool. But I'll have to check before moving on to the next game just to see if that was the case or not. But you should be on the field, defensively speaking. All right, well, now it's up to the Dolphins. Now, it is a tie game, though.
And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Oh, okay. It just looks like it's. Yeah, I think what it is that they're basically they're going everywhere. How do I put this? They're avoiding you is what they're doing. They're making it so they're like, all right, why go towards AJ if we can just go around him? That's probably what Dallas is thinking. You know, because I imagine Tony Pollard is like, bro, let's go to the right or the left or the middle, but wherever AJ is, we can't go to where he is, otherwise he's going to get me. All right, Tua better throw it. He held the ball too long. And a sack by Hankins. He probably should have went for it, or at least get enough yardage so that way they can get a 1st down. But he made the same mistake that Asriel Black did early in the game, and that was he held on to the ball too long and didn't make a break for it.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That ball better be gone, because anything past that, that's usually the end result.
I mean, give the Cowboys credit. I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. But that was not a good sequence there. So now it's 3rd and 6. They fakes the handoff. Oh, he's going to go long. He got it! Tyreek Hill! Touchdown! Dolphins! Tyreek Hill! Oh, they went long. And they hit it, but now Miami takes the lead. Look at this. What a throw, and great route running, and a great catch there by Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's why I could see why Mahomes was scoring video game numbers when Tyreek Hill was in Kansas City. Because when Tyreek was there, I can't even talk. When Tyreek was there, Mahomes was just putting up stupid video game numbers. Something that he hasn't been able to do ever since Hill left. But on the other hand, you could argue that if it wasn't for Mahomes and the Chiefs, Tyreek would not have been a champion at all. But in this case, Tyreek Hill is doing everything that you could ever. He's doing exactly what the Miami Dolphins hope he would, and that is come up with some big plays, and that's exactly what he did. But now it's up to the defense to come up with the stop. Now Dallas might try to run it. All right, so they'll start at the 25, 1st and 10. So if you're Miami, you just have to find a way to get a stop, or at the very least slow them down to such a point where they run out of time. That's what you got to do if you're Miami. Now, if you're Dallas, obviously, you got to get a touchdown, however you can get it. Anything short of that, Miami's probably going to run out the clock and they'll get the win. All right, let's see.
On 1st and 10. Black.
Let me see if I can spot AJ. Well, they get a short pass. And all right, so they allow 5 yards, but that's all they get. 2nd and 5. Although just as important that he went out of bounds, so that stops the clock at 3:10. And of course, that was a reception by Ram. That's another guy you got to watch out for if you're Miami. The last thing you want to do is let him get going, as if CeeDee Lamb was bad enough. Fakes the handoff.
He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch.
They got it to Lamb.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
CeeDee Lamb with a catch and a 1st down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And another completion. Although the thing is, now the clock is going to be a factor. Let me see.
And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back.
I think I see AJ, but it's kind of hard to see at this angle, though. The only thing I will say that he's a defensive tackle.
Out of the gun to give to Pollard. And he'll go down.
Well, even though they can't stop him from getting 1st downs, what they are doing is making Dallas use up a lot of clock, which is just as important. But on the other hand, Mike McCarthy's going to have to start using his timeouts, especially after the 2-minute warning.
And we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on
and it looks like the chat broke again.
A score here on what could be their final drive. Plenty of time.
There we go.
Timeouts still remain.
There we go. Chat fix. All right.
Operating from the gun. Black.
And Azriel does get the completion.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker.
Well, nearly gets a 1st down. However, clock is running.
Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what?
Oh, Patty says she saw AJ. Awesome. Okay, so AJ's there.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
Although to be fair, the offensive line for Miami, they're doing a great job. Or not Miami, sorry, for Dallas. My bad. Dallas is doing a great job when it comes to AJ because if they don't keep him in check, AJ is going to kill him.
Here's 1st down.
Well, they do get a completion, but they only get 4 yards. It's a Dallas tradition to choke in the playoffs at home. Well, I'm not going to say anything until it's done.
Clock under 50 seconds
But
to play. Here's second down.
Azriel with a completion. Does he get enough yards? He does.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
And, of course, the coach for... and now finally a timeout being used.
Going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Something tells me that Dallas wants to use up as much clock as they can, but not so much to where they don't get a chance to run a play.
2 timeouts still available.
So they still have their timeout. So
first and 10 now.
Now let's see if they can break through.
He's back to throw.
Ooh, almost got picked off. Almost got picked off. However, the clock does stop with the incompletion, though. So no need to use a timeout since the clock is stopped. But man, that was close. They almost got it.
That means everyone's locked in.
All right, here we go.
It's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the
Hopefully
credit.
AJ didn't hurt himself.
Making plays behind him in the field.
And a completion.
That's Ferguson.
That was to Ferguson, although he went out of bounds, so that stops the clock again.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped
Oh, I'm sorry.
for. That's going to bring up third down.
There we go. All right, 3rd and 7.
What can they come up with here?
And can Miami stop them?
Back to throw.
Azriel. Azriel.
And yes,
they got it. The Cowboys get the touchdown with an extra point to go. And they got it to, of course, I didn't see who caught it though.
Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out.
I couldn't see from this angle who caught it. Oh, Brandon Cooks. But now, it's all up to Patty. Patty. Patty does, in fact, come in clutch. So now the game is tied, 21-21. Well, the Dolphins now have 20 seconds to go down the length of the field. They have all 3 timeouts to use. But one thing that Miami has to avoid is committing a turnover, especially a pick 6 or a fumble. And hello to Oni. Deep route to Hill to get into field goal range. Well, that's what they'll have to do. Again, Miami does have all 3 timeouts to use, so they have that at their disposal. Although I'm not sure who Oni is, but hello. All right, so they'll just take it to the 25. And that's where they're going to start.
Set and ready to go. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10 at the 25.
There's Tua.
They hand it off to Atticus. I'm not sure why you would run, especially given the fact that not sure why you would run there. I guess maybe they thought that, Coach, are you not going to use your timeout? What are you doing? Wow. And I thought McCarthy was an idiot. I guess the Dolphins coach is an idiot too. Although to be fair to McCarthy, he did win a Super Bowl with, the Packers, but he had Aaron Rodgers with him, and they had a very talented team at the time. So I can't really say he is a complete failure because he's not. But But for the coach of the Dolphins, like, I don't get why you don't try to go for the win right there. But let's see. It looks to me like, all right, so the Dolphins will start with the ball. Mike McDaniel, thank you.
Hill is going to take it out of the end zone.
I know, and I knew it was Mac. I just forgot what Mac it was.
Line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
All right, so Mike McDaniel.
And the points they have come
I guess he felt it was better to go into overtime, but here's the thing: if you go into overtime, you don't know what's going to happen.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally.
So I know a little too much. Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with knowing a little too much. It's better to know a little too much than to not know anything at all. Although there are some things that are better left not to be known. All right, they hand it off. All right, so Atticus does get a run of 9 yards.
Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running.
Now, of course, going into the 2023 season, they changed the overtime rules, so I'm kind of curious how they handled it, how they handle this in this game here. But we'll have to find out when the time comes. Anyway, A-Chain does get the first down, so I will say this though, A-Chain is there to go for those third down conversions. So he's the third down back, is A-Chain. And really, that's not a bad third down back to have.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, so 1st and 10 at the 36.
They'll try the left
and they hand it off to Atticus Black.
And gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
They get 6 on that one.
Smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short. Could they just hand it off for another big gain, or did they take advantage of this spot?
But yeah, Ani, as you can see, there are some characters you're like, wait, who's Atticus Black? Well, he's the guy that's in the chat. Oh, Tyreek Hill with the completion, and credit to the defense to get to him before he broke out. But they do get a first down. 4 receptions, 110 yards. Gilmore with the tackle. Of course, Gilmore had a good run there in New England with the Patriots. Hill is the cheat code. Well, I'll tell you, if he's a cheat code, you're looking at you're looking at the code breaker. Your boy, TJ Toad. Do what you can't. What? What you can't die? I think you meant to say do. Do what you can't do in real life. Well, let's see if they do that.
Setting to throw on first down is
Tua with another completion to who else? The code breaker. However, it's 2nd and inches.
And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like
Can't win a division game?
Hands, route running,
wait,
speed,
MB? Who's MB?
and some toughness to go across the middle. You put it all together, you got heck of a
and another completion to, once again, your boy Toad.
Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right?
Oh, my bad. Oh, so that's what MB stands for. Okay.
Because of the enormity of what's going on.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, yeah, and here's another guy you've never seen at all, and his name is Blade Charge. He's the middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. But obviously he can't do it all by himself, though. Anyway, A-Chain does get 3 yards, but I will say this, though. They're doing a good job mixing in the runs and passes, and that's what you got to do against some of the best defenses. I mean, of course, we all know that Dallas IRL in 2024 is terrible. Although it looks like they're starting to key in on the run, so they might want to start passing or come up with something more creative, because Dallas is starting to figure it out. All right,
and now facing a
third and 6.
Big play coming up.
This is a big one. Do they get a first down? They do, and not quite. All right, timeout used up. Well, Tyreek Hill does get the first down, and he got it at the 1. It's cool that I made my own. Well, they're not just my characters, but also, you know, the likes of AJ and Atticus. Like, I try to get the chat involved in the games as much as I can. And that was a Tua. What the hell? What kind of a throw was that? That almost got picked off. Oh my gosh, that could have been intercepted, man. Tua, have you been hit in the head too many times? I mean, but also how not the Dolphins, how the Cowboys did come away with that. Yeah, you got to run the ball. They do run it, but they don't get it. That slight hesitation might have cost them. Now it's 3rd and goal. It's 3rd and goal. Although, I don't know why you called him a Muppet, though. Learn from the Seahawks. Oh, yeah, that's right. We saw what happened with the Seahawks. Like, intercepted at the goal line. And did he get it? No, he did not. Oh, wow.
And now 4th down. What do you do?
And after being stuffed on that play, it puts a little doubt in the minds of a head coach who has the football, I'm sure. Do we go for it here? Do we take the 3 points and continue to play on? Because you know he wants to get in the end zone. That ends the game.
Oh, no. Oh, they're going to go for it. But they don't get it. They do not get it.
They're turned away on 4th and goal.
Well, the thing is, the Dolphins had the first possession. If they had the second, then, yeah, they probably would have went for the field goal, but no. I mean,
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time.
Just, wow. I mean, yeah, they ran the ball, but they just could not run it as well as they should have. And credit to Dallas for stopping them, but now all Dallas needs is a field goal. I mean, of course they'll try to score a touchdown at this point. But now it's up to Miami to come up with a big stop.
They did the important thing. They got the stop. They didn't allow a point, but now they're backed up here pretty far.
All right, 2nd and 2.
Significant drive to try to get into
I mean, that just kind of like ever since the turn of the century, you know, the 21st century, the Dolphins have been somewhat of a snake-bitten franchise. Most of the time they've had losing seasons, and then even when they've had a winning season, they would come up across some of the best teams in the... Oh! Well, it was incomplete. I almost got it, though.
We're still even. We'll switch sides.
All right, so even though that's the end of the overtime period, because we're still in the game, they treat it like it's a playoff game, so we're going to go to a second overtime. Yeah, almost a pick, but just as important, they got an incompletion there. All right, so 3rd and 2.
After the incompletion,
now, if Miami can get the stop, they'll have a chance. And Dallas obviously wants to get a first down.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
Wow, what a run. Wow, they really faked him out. So, Asriel Black with a run. And he gets a first down on his own power. Oh, man. Oh, well, thank you so much, Lonely.
On a play like this, you know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback.
I mean, obviously, there's always the chance that he could have fumbled it. But then again, you know, Azriel Black does have prior experience as a running back, so he knows how to hold on to a ball. It's your lonely heartbreak, only the lonely. And yes, that is the song, by the way, Only the Lonely.
That's a really good game right
All right, so 2nd and 5.
Yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chatter right now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was from Roy Orbison. Let me see. I'll type it in the chat. And another first down.
But partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over.
So yeah, that's what it's called, Only the Lonely. Roy Orbison. And of course, Atticus is like, for freak's sake.
Vaughn on 1st and 10.
Vaughn?
And he is swallowed up.
Well,
right
that's a
at the
no
line of
gain.
scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second
What
down.
number am I?
Well done to
Let's see. I believe you're number 92, I believe. If not.
Oh,
Oh, I think. No, you're number 12.
Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going.
You're number 12. You're the guy that's in the middle.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
And another completion. Oh, no, wait. We got a flag. Wait, what's the flag for? A face mask on the defense. Oh, that's going to make it much, much easier for Dallas to move down the field. And now that puts them in field goal range. And this is perhaps the most critical penalty that the Miami Dolphins have committed.
So the penalty yards marched off.
Well, it's 1st and 10. Now, if you're Dallas at this point, the one thing you don't want to do is cough up the football or turn it over.
Black. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's going to get this down.
And another first down.
Back-to-back nice gains.
How long have you been streaming for? In terms of this stream or just in general, really? AJ, I'm scared. Well, you know, what else can I say? Someone has to win and someone has to lose. Now, it's not over by any stretch. And another completion, and almost got it. And he got it to Ram. So now 1st and goal at the 3. Sure, they can kick the field goal right now if they wanted to, but anyway, yeah, there you are right there. Okay, so you are in. All right, that's good. But
Pollard.
And no, Pollard. Oh, no, wait. We got a flag. Now, if this is against the offense, then the touchdown is null and void. It's a holding penalty against the offense, so no touchdown.
Wow, Charles, that doesn't just take points off the board, that takes a win off the board.
So now you have to
So that's an offensive penalty, so that means that the Cowboys do not get this yet. It's still 1st and goal, but now it's at the 12. So that'll give them some more breathing room defensively, but they still have to find a way to stop them.
Looking to throw. Black.
Azriel with another completion, though. Yeah, they could just kick the field goal, but I guess they want to stick it to you guys.
He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not.
But one thing, that's probably what Dallas is trying to do. They want to stick it to you guys.
But you can flex him out. You can.
But one thing, but again, the last thing they want to do is throw a pick. Wait a minute. Well, he overthrew it, but it's now 3rd and goal.
they didn't kick it on second down, now third and goal. You have to kick it here.
Absolutely.
That's what you have to hope your defense can do. That's what you hope that, you know, it's not just AJ, but the defense has to do.
Another chance at it. Give yourself that option. Give yourself that opening.
They're going to run it.
Here's Pollard.
Pollard does it. The Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. And for Miami, give them credit. They had it. There were times I thought they had it. But Dallas just was able. Well, no, AJ, you didn't fail as a GM. It's just the rest of the team failed you. And Atticus did everything right. I did everything right. It's just the rest of the team outside of like Tyreek Hill and also this guy right here. The coach failed.
So it's a win here for the Cowboys.
So if anyone deserved any sort of blame, really, it was the play calling of Mike McDaniel. Because there were several times I thought that Mike McDaniel would try to go for, for something like better play calling. But no, his play calling was terrible. So if anything, the coach has to be the one to be blamed because, and not to mention the rest of the defense, because if the defense comes up with one more stop, they win this game. It's not even a conversation. But unfortunately, for the Dolphins, they'll have to reassess. And AJ, if you want to return as a GM, let me know and I'll put you on the list. But for Patty and for Azriel, the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl, and the Cowboys have already won 3 Madden Super Bowls. No, I mean, obviously they've won 5 IRL Super Bowls, but in the Madden series, they've won 3. And of course, Azriel was a member of, I want to say, 2 of them. So Azriel has won championships with the Cowboys. Oh, of course. Okay, let me find somebody to replace so I can put you in there. So let me find somebody. Hold on. But for AJ, he didn't fail. If anything, the coaching and the rest of the defense, outside of yourself, they failed. So no, AJ, you did well. But unfortunately, the rest of your team didn't, and the coach certainly didn't help either. So no, that's on them. That's on them. All right, so let me see. Who have I not seen? Excuse me. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, Ani, since you're a big fan of football, before I get to that, hold that thought. Let's take a look at some of the stats, though. But AJ, you have nothing to be ashamed of. You really don't. Although Blaze Whip definitely did a great job in his one attempted pass that was completed. Of course, Azriel Black had the better quarterback rating. He had more completions. He had, well, actually, Tua had more yards, but Azriel's completion percentage was at 84%, and he had 2 touchdowns to Tua's 1. Neither guy intercepted it, so credit to Tua for not intercepting anything. And then, of course, Atticus Black had 2 touchdowns. Tony Pollard obviously comes in huge with 2 touchdowns of his own. Oh, okay. Let me see. You play receiving. Oh, as a receiving tight end. Okay. Let's see. Defensive end. Long. Wait, you're a long snapper? I did not know that. I guess. Let me see. Long snapper. I would have to probably put you as one of the tackle positions, or a center. if you want to be a long snapper. Oh, in real life? Okay. So in other words, you're more of a you're big enough to play as an edge rusher, defensive end, and a tight end, and maybe even some linebacker. Maybe even maybe even a running back if that's. But okay, so tight end is the most preferred one. All right. All right, so I found 10% accurate. All right, so I was 10% accurate. All right, cool. I suppose that's better than not being accurate at all. So, okay. Oh yeah, and here's my character right here, TJ Toad. I had the most receptions. Oh, 100? Okay, I'm sorry. Or no, wait. Oh wait, that was your mistake. My bad. Anyway, Tyreek Hill had the most yards, and naturally had the most yards per reception, average. Yeah, Brandon Cooks had one. Tyreek had one. CeeDee Lamb had one. And then Eduga and Hunt each allowed a sack. Not good. And then total tackles was Vander Esch. Did a great job there. And then you had three guys that had the most tackles for loss. But Jonathan Hankins and Phillips for Dallas and Miami respectively. But nobody had an interception or anything like that. And then, of course, Patty had 3 extra points, and then Blaze had 2 field goals. Patty only had 1 punt. But aside from that, there you go. But yeah, AJ, I'm just hoping that AJ's still in the chat. That, you know, I'm sad that he lost, like, as a friend. And I'm sad that my character lost, but I also know that it could have gone the other way. It really could have. But now we still have one other game left to go. So let's do it. So while the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl, we're going to find out which team is going to meet them. But yeah, see if AJ is in the chat. Well, I guess while AJ is... Oh, that's right. He did say he was at work, so probably he's driving while we're doing this. So, well, I guess while that's happening, I'll just get right to the next game here. So this next game is going to feature the 5th-seeded New Orleans Saints. All right, not a problem. Not a problem. The New Orleans Saints taking on the top-seeded Green Bay Packers. And now let's get to the game. I'm not sure if Spike Ryan in the chat is still there, but your team is up next, buddy. And I'll let everybody else that is in this game know in just a moment. Let's see. Oh, okay. So there he is, right there. So Brandon Cornwell. His character's name is Spike Ryan. And oh yeah, let me put down the name of your character's name. I'm sorry. It was Wesley Turtle. Wesley Turtle. Turtle. Although, while turtles in general are slow, I guess you could say he is a Ninja Turtle. I mean, I was a big fan of the Ninja Turtles late 80s, early 90s cartoon when I was... Oh, that is your name. I'm sorry. Well, still, I was a big fan of the Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day. Like, I got to watch the reruns when I was growing up, and it was, and I will say this: the series was epic, to say the least. I have respect for that. All right, cool. All right, let me just let. All right, let me just let those know. Let those in the game know.
It's the Green Bay Packers taking on the New Orleans Saints.
This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Tonight on this fine Thursday night,
so we're either going to get the Cowboys and the Packers at the Super Bowl, or we're going to get the New Orleans Saints. You guys can make your predictions on who you think is going to win this one. Did you see Matt LaFleur? Okay.
Just about set for football. Blake Groupie is ready to get us started. And off we go from Lambeau. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone.
All right, so the Green Bay Packers will start.
Past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
And I may as well go over who is on the team. And it all starts with this guy right here, Clinton Flippin. Yes, that is his name, just like Wesley Turtle is Ani's name. I'm actually pretty fast. Wait, are you a Turbo Turtle? Like, you know, because there was this cartoon between the tortoise and the hare was played by Bugs Bunny, and it turns out in one of the cartoons the turtle had a jetpack, but in this case you don't need a jetpack. You're very fast.
From UTEP, this is Aaron Jones, and that to the 30.
Anyway, oh yeah, this was Aaron Jones when he was still with the Green Bay Packers, even though he's now with the Vikings.
No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
And, well, for a moment I thought he had it, but he didn't get it. For a moment I thought he had it, but instead it's 3rd and 7, and somebody got hurt.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
I'm still sending out the invitations to those that are in the game, or their characters that are in the game. And a completion for a first down. And one of the people that are in this game is Carol Parks. Yes, there's actually women in this game. Yes, Carol Parks bulked up. So whenever I create, whenever I have a woman on the in the game, what I do is I give them the Mulan treatment. I just have to make them look, you know, womanly enough to make it seem as if they managed to get inside of a uniform, but still tough enough so that they can take the abuse and the punishment as is natural throughout the game. Because, you know, you go through a lot of bumps and bruises throughout the game, and you got to be tough. And I will say that the women are just as tough as the men. Well, in this game at least. Actually, what am I saying? They are tough. They're very strong, even without the pads. And Jones only gets 1 yard. Okay.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see?
Oh yeah, let me just get Mr. Flippin himself.
And then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll come out with a 4-receiver set. 3rd and 9.
They're going to look to throw.
And Clinton trying to find somebody. He better get rid of it. Well, he does get rid of it, but it results in a 4th down. And New Orleans gets a stop. And to think Dennis Allen, this is when Dennis Allen was still on the team, and obviously before he was fired.
On 4th down, the Packers called on Daniel Whelan to punt. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed.
All right, so and a fair catch called at the 16. I mean, that's a very good punt there.
Just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with
I mean, they were deep enough to
so out comes this offense to take over.
they were deep enough to, you know, flip the field in their favor defensively, but not far, but not close enough to, you know, go for a field goal. Anyway, and as for the Saints, they have a quarterback of their own, and that is Brandon Cuevas. And of course, he himself has won a Super Bowl as a quarterback, albeit he was with the Washington Commanders about, I want to say, 2, 3, 4 seasons ago in the Madden series. No, 3 seasons ago, I'm sorry. But even still, he's done it before, he can do it again. And of course, the Saints have won a championship before in the Madden series, but they're looking to win their 2nd. But to do it, they got to get past Green Bay.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before.
What teams are open? Oh, you know. All right, hang on a second. Hold on a moment. So I have a series within this, and that's called Who Wants to Be a GM? And if you're interested, Ani, oh, well, he does get the throw off and manages to get a small gain when it could have been a loss or a no gain. All right, so I'll put in Ani Wesley Turtle.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Just putting your name down. But as for which teams are open, I think it's easier for me to tell you which teams have already been taken. The teams that have already been taken are the Seattle Seahawks, the Cincinnati Bengals, Oni, sorry. Oni. The Seattle Seahawks, the Cincinnati Bengals, the New York Giants, Los Angeles Rams, Detroit Lions, and the Cowboys have been taken. So all the other teams are still available. So I'll let you think about that. And as that happens, looks like both teams each got a stop successfully. So it might just come down to a field positioning thing. Well,
39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
So, all right, so each team has got to stop. So now it's going to come down to which offense can come through. And as that happens, I'm still sending out the invitations there.
Last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Can a GM also have a player? Absolutely. You play. You don't just GM the team. You play on the team. As is the case with Spike Ryan, who's in the game right there. In fact, Spike Ryan got his first tackle.
Outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
2nd and 1. Right side to Watson.
Dexter Turtle. Okay. I like that. Not a problem.
It's a 1st down.
And then Spike Ryan in the chat says, "I'm no pushover." I mean, but also I should mention that I also do other sports, something similar to this, but with other sports, with hockey, baseball. Oh, your little brother? Oh, cool. It's my little brother.
It's Parks. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, 2nd and 9.
When you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. First carry now for A.J. Dillon.
And Dillon actually tripped over his own guy, but the Saints, I mean, they were quick enough to stop him before he broke out, but that could have been a lot that could have been a worse situation for the Saints had they not stopped that.
They are in need of
after the events of Royal Retribution. Oh yeah, and we also the main series on this channel is a video game wrestling series called Blue Toad Wrestling. Blue Toad because that's my channel's mascot. But that's been the main series on my channel, even to all the way to the beginning.
No score.
So I also have those. I also have that, and I also stream the Nintendo Switch games as well. Like I have. I don't know if you have a Nintendo Switch, but any major game that you could probably think of on that system, chances are I probably have it. With rare exceptions, of course.
Here's Daniel Whelan now.
Not to boast, but I'm just giving you an idea of what is on the show, or on the stream, or on the channel, I should say. And wow, great job there on the part of Green Bay to pin him at the 12. The Retro Bowl, Risk of Rain. Wait, what's Risk of Rain? And some Mario games. Oh, awesome.
Big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
All right, here we go. Do I have a story for you? No. It's very educational. I'm taking notes. All right, well, I guess you can tell me the story. All right, let me see. Who do I still have left? Oh, yeah, that's right, Triple B. Although I think Triple Beat's doing his own show. I think. Let me see.
Again, it's Kamara.
And Kamara, I mean, he gets 4 yards, but he doesn't get very much, though. So Risk of Rain is a shooting survival game, but the actual lore and stuff is way deeper. Okay, so it's a lot more than just a shooting survival game. So it's not like Fortnite where that's all you do. There's more to it. Okay.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Okay, so I was right. All right, it's 3rd and 6. Can they get the first down? Did they get enough? Yeah, they got enough. Barely, but good enough for a first down.
An effective
All right.
7-yard 3rd down conversion.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
There we go. I made a whole presentation for a final project on the story. Wait, is it on your channel? Hang on a moment. Let me check out your channel. Hold on.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Oh, what a move.
Hold on.
And he's able to plow forward up to about
I see that the dude that is in your profile pic, he looks cool. Wait, who is this dude? Oh, you don't have one. Okay. Well, I don't know if you have any subscribers, but you have me. So I don't know if I'm your first one, but oh, okay. So you didn't make that. All right. I appreciate your honesty because I know that some people say that, oh yeah, I made this one, when in fact they didn't. Because I will say this though, I did not, and I repeat, I did not create my profile picture. Somebody else made it, so I can't take credit for my profile pic. So I appreciate the honesty there. You're an honest man. Anyway, a first down for the Saints as they move down the field. They are past midfield at this point. My artistic talent, I do art, is forgery. I'm a mimic of the world. Well, I know that not everything can be original and can be in a vacuum. But it's important to express your thoughts.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
And if what is expressed is not my thoughts, the least anyone can do is source. The least I can do is source my, or to list my sources, if you will.
10 yards, good for his Saints first down.
Wait, can you do portraits? And by portraits, like, can you look at somebody? Like, could you look at somebody, or look at a landscape? Like if you're looking outside the window and there's a beautiful field and there's mountains in the background, like let's say you're looking at it through the window of a train, before it goes off. You can make me a blue toad. I mean, you don't have to. But if it looks good, I'm like, well, I would appreciate it, but again, you don't have to. I want you to know that you don't have to, and I appreciate that. I always tell people, like, don't do it because you have to, but do it because you want to. But if you want to, you can. I'm just saying you don't have to. But if it sounds fun, I'm cool with it too. All right, 1st and 10 for the Saints. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Brandon Cuevas making a run for it, and he's going to hold on to it. And of course, Brandon Cuevas, much like Azriel Black before him, has prior experience as a running back, so he knew how to run with the ball. And Matt LaFleur not very happy with the defensive coordinator, and how could he be? How do you stop a man that is the size of Brandon Cuevas? He's no average quarterback, I can tell you that. And I imagine Spike Ryan, as the GM for New Orleans, has got to be happy with the fact that Brandon is able to produce the way that he is. Fakes the handoff.
As they set up to throw.
And, no, intercepted!
Intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
Jair Alexander with a pick, although he made a mistake. He should have just stayed down in the end zone for a touchback, but instead he actually ran out. And it's intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. No, Malcolm Butler's not in this. Well, yeah, he's the MVP of the team, but that was just a great play there by Jair Alexander, although he made a mistake actually exiting the end zone, and now his team is at the 1. So Green Bay's got to be careful. If not, they risk escape. They risk giving up a safety and giving the ball right back to New Orleans. So they got to be careful. Well, they get enough breathing room for about 6 yards.
Both teams practice this situation.
All right, back to sharing this to other people. Who else am I forgetting? Oh, yeah, that's right. Brandon Cuevas. Let me get him.
Stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed him off with that run.
2nd and 4.
And a completion by Clinton Flippin, the opposing quarterback for Green Bay, taking over from the great Aaron Rodgers, or however great he was before he started going. I don't know how you guys feel about Aaron Rodgers, but he was never really the same after 2019. I'm sorry, but it's like he went off the deep end. Like, ooh, well, nice defensive work there by New Orleans. But anyway, he never really was the same after 2019, because after that it was like a diminishing. It was like the the law of diminishing returns. He got worse and worse and worse, and then by the time he got to the final year of Green Bay, they missed out on the playoffs.
And the defense obviously.
Yeah, he's a fallen king of the North, and he can't even be the king of the East anyway.
Now they'll take a timeout defensively.
Especially with the Jets.
Play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final.
I'm starting to think maybe the CTE got to him, which, not that I would wish that on anybody, but it's just unfortunate. And hello to Primetime. And Primetime here, I have a new friend, and his name is Oni, but he has expressed interest in being on the series, and any other sports series I have, or any other game that I stream, or any I do make a few other videos, but I mostly stream.
Here's Daniel
Whelan
on now to punt.
And a punt and give it up.
Man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Well, they stop him, and at the end of one half, it is the opposite of the last game, where there was a lot of scoring, but in this game, 0-0. So it's going to come down to which offense comes up with a big play.
Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. This one's been a defensive stalemate. No scoring in that first.
An average NFC South game. Yeah, but the thing is, you have an NFC South team against an NFC North team.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Who's the Saints? Well, the GM is Spike Ryan, so that's who's in charge of the Saints in this case.
After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway.
Okay.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
All right, so, oh yeah, and this was before Lattimore was traded to the Washington Commanders. I will say this, though, the Washington Commanders did a great job obtaining his services, and that they didn't overpay for him. And as far as the Saints are concerned, I mean, IRL, they did get as much as they possibly could. I mean, they were trying to get more, but they just couldn't get more, and they just had to settle for what they could get. Hey, what's up, Brandon Cuevas?
And he is going to lose yardage here.
And nice, wow, a tackle for loss onto Alvin Kamara, or Kamara. Anyway, great to see Brandon Cuevas. So there you see the quarterback. And there's Carroll. Of course, Carroll is the tight end for the Packers. Even though I know that Carroll, for a fact, is a big fan of the Colts, so the Indianapolis Colts. But yeah, Carroll, if you want to be a GM or a general manager for the Colts or any other team, let me know. And that was a bad throw by Cuevas. So now it's 3rd and 11.
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
So, all right, so let me get Peter Griffin.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here.
And a completion, but not close enough for a first down, though.
That's well short of the first down. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
All right, so another punt, and a fair catch called at the 26. All right, not bad.
36 yards on the punt with no return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2.
This is like the Raiders-Vikings game from week 13 last season? Oh, in terms of a scoreless game? Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Oh, he's going to go long! And
that will be incomplete.
Incomplete. For a moment, I thought he had it, but he dropped it. Or actually, no, it was well defended. So in that case, that was a great play there by the... It ended 3-0. Yeah. I mean, there was that one game, and I forgot. I think it was in 2007 where it ended 3-0, but that was because of bad weather. I mean, it could have been called a pass interference, but I guess it wasn't. I guess it was inconclusive for the referee to call it. So, in other words, sometimes it's better to err on the caution of no calling it than calling it and being wrong. But unless it's obvious, then yeah, you do call it. But anyway, first down to Dobbs. And then last person is RS.
Running the traditional NFL route tree. One thing they did learn, find open areas.
Yep, Steelers-Dolphins. Yeah, it was Steelers-Dolphins, and it was at the Steelers, and they had rain, and it was so bad that they were only able to get 3 points on that one. But at least there was a reason, but Yeah, the Raiders Vikings from
Again, he'll drop to throw.
last season. Yeah, that one was bad.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs.
And a 2nd and 2.
About 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard
Dobbs
gain,
doing pretty well
2nd and
with the
2.
receiving. I have to think that whichever team can break out of the scoreless slump is going to be the one
From
that
the
wins.
48-yard line, here's 2nd and 2.
One has to believe. Okay.
An inside give to Jones.
And Jones with a run. And again, it's so weird that Jones is now with the Vikings today, when just a year ago he was on the Packers. It's so weird. It really is.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Dillon now on 1st and 10.
And Dillon just powering his way to a first down.
Down to the 37. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
All right, there we go.
Line of scrimmage, the
Wait, let me catch up on the chat here. Eagles won tonight. Like, why are you calling them communists? They're called the Commanders. Or are you one of those people that don't like the Commanders? Because, like, if you'd have, I mean, if you'd have said that, like, maybe, like, 5, 10, 15 years ago, I probably would call them, though. That's probably what I would call them. Oh. No, I do like the team. Well, I could certainly say that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, I could say that, well, 20 years ago at the most, I really was not a fan of the team. But that had more to do with the owner. It had a lot to do with the owner at the time. I mean, the current owner is awesome, and he's helping, and he's doing a great job with staying out of the way and only ever stepping in when he absolutely has to. But no, Dan Snyder, perhaps the biggest stain on the underwear of life. In fact, he smells so bad that he makes a skunk smell even better. If you know, you know. All right, well, now that I've finished sending out the invitations, now I can just focus on the game. And an incompletion. Great play there by number 24 of the defense. I'll say this much. This is a great defensive game. Fire bars. Wait, fire bars?
A lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football. Not easily done in today's NFL.
Anyway, great job there by the defense, though. But now it looks like they're going to go for a field goal to break the scoreless tie. Oh, the skunk line? Oh, okay.
They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt.
And he's going to go for it.
And his kick is good.
It's good, barely, but it's good.
To the bottom of that left corner. And with it, they have taken the lead.
Wow. I mean, you talk about a game of inches. That was close to not even to hitting the crossbar, if not making it, but it made it barely, but it's good. All right, so the Green Bay Packers do score a field goal.
They'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
But well, now that's going to put some pressure on the Saints, and like they got close one time when they were in the end zone or the red zone, excuse me, but they just couldn't punch it in.
Now to send this one away.
So now it's up to the Saints. They'll take the knee and they'll start at the 25.
This one, he'll go down to a knee, and
all right.
They'll start at the 25. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And As you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
All right, so a 5-yard rush by Alvin Kamara.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line,
All right, 2nd and 5 at the 30.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide
Cuevas
and try and chip someone
with a completion. Not much, but enough for a first down. Once again, the people on each of the teams, I'll start with the Saints since they have the ball. Quarterback, Brandon Cuevas. You have a strong safety on defense with Jen Wolverine. You have an offensive guard in Peter Griffin. Yes, that Peter Griffin. A defensive tackle in Rain Sinclair. And, of course, the GM himself as a linebacker, Spike Ryan.
Back now at Lambeau.
And for the Packers, they have at defensive end Adrian Chambly, as well as a defensive tackle, Louis Lebanquer. Tight end, Carol Parks. Center, triple beat, and of course the quarterback, Clinton Flippin. So those are the created players that are on each of those teams, in addition to the base players that were on the teams last season, or the 2023 season, for those who are wondering. All right, 2nd and 2 for the Saints. They only need a field goal to tie, but obviously they want to take the lead. But they have to get 2 yards just to keep the drive alive. Brandon? What kind of a throw was that, Brandon?
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his
da-da-da, 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 da-da.
On 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far.
All right, third and 2.
They'll look to throw.
3rd and 2. Oh.
Flush to his right.
Oh my gosh, he was able to escape. Can he make it? Can he make it?
Very close to
No.
first down.
Oh my gosh, 4th and inches. How close do you have to get?
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
I mean, it's a game of inches, but oh my gosh. I mean, at this point, you're not close enough to go for a field goal, but you're not. Oh, they're going to go for it. They have to. They're too far away to go for a field goal. They got to run for it. Oh, they got it. They got it. I don't know how, but they got it. They got the pass off and a first down, and they're at the 34 to Chris Olave. Olave with an 18-yard reception and a big one. That's his first reception, but it's a huge one. Da-da-da! Da-da-da! Da-da! I hope you like the little music that I put in there. Anyway, let me get a drink here. Thankfully, I have a drink in front of me.
After the 4th down conversion, here's 1st and 10.
All right. All right, 1st and 10 at the 34. They hand it off. Kamara with a 3-yard run and a cloud of dust.
2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And Cuevas with another completion and a first down.
And this is going to result in another first down as the
of course,
tackle's made at the
well, I mean,
12-yard
great
line.
run there after the catch, but also not very good tackling. I mean, Quay Walker was able to get there, but they not only get a first down, they got a whole lot more.
Keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
All right, so New Orleans went from being 4th and inches and possibly punting, but why would you do that, especially when there's not much time left, to now being at a 1st and 10 at the 12. And, well, he threw it away, but considering his options, that was probably the best thing he could have done. All right, 2nd and 10 at the 12.
You can only go to the well so many times in the game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
All right, so they'll have to come up with something else.
2nd and 10.
Looks like the defense is anticipating a run.
He'll drop to throw.
But he's going to go for a throw. And did he extend it? He got it! The Saints score. They take the lead.
Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Well,
I mean, first of all, great catch, great extension to get to break the plane, and it's a touchdown. Oh, you changed your name. Okay, there you go.
But now, on the other side of the field, they've got to be thinking if they got it done, we should be able to.
All right, well, I guess I'll have to. Anyway. Wow, I mean, great play, and obviously Spike Ryan on the sidelines, given he's a defensive player, of course. Very happy. And the kick is up, and it's good. Oh, no worries, Wesley.
A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans.
Not a problem, Wesley. Sign. I mean, obviously a great pass there by Brandon, and Brandon certainly made up for the interception early in the game. There you go, Wesley Turtle. Yes, and in the case of Spike Ryan, it's up to his team to keep rolling, keep rolling. That's an old Limp Bizkit song. For the record, I was never a big fan of Limp Bizkit, but I just know that song because I you know, the Undertaker, the professional wrestler, for those who don't know, he used that song as his theme. I think for about a year and a half. Limp Bizkit is an OG. Oh, so you do know. Yeah, because not everybody knows about Limp Bizkit, or if they do, they probably know their later stuff. And wow, what a catch! Wow, I'm surprised he was able to fit it in there. And a completion.
Certainly no settling into the drive.
And of course, Dennis Allen in disbelief, wondering, how did we allow that? All right, let's take a look. I mean, he was able to get it in to where Watson was able to catch it. How did he catch that? With Eminem extension. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I was more of a fan of Eminem in the 90s rather than his later stuff. I'm just being real with you. And that was a bad throw. That could have been intercepted, but now it's 2nd and 10. He turned off his spine. Wait, what?
And you need to put some heat on it. It helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, if anyone could do it, you know, you have those receivers that have the ability to make some unbelievable catches, but, you know.
They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
But it could also come down to just, you know,
here's 1st and 10.
Unrealistic game mechanics, I guess you could say.
Over the middle, complete. It's Parks.
And Carroll Parks with a catch.
2nd and 2.
I will say this, though, Carroll Parks only has 3 catches, but they have been big.
Let the clock wind down.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
But, yeah, Carroll Parks is the tight end. I believe that's the position that you would love to play as.
Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones.
And Aaron Jones gets a couple more yards, and now Green Bay has a chance to retake the lead.
The shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
This is 1st and 10.
Now, Green Bay does have all 3 timeouts at their disposal. And Clinton had to throw it away. All right, well, still 1 minute and 1 minute and 5 seconds on the clock. I can't talk.
Every second to prepare before the next snap, because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
He's back to throw.
All right, Clinton with a completion. And now it's a 3rd and 2.
Just inside the 5 to the 4. An incompletion.
Well, I'll say this, though.
That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quick.
I'll say this, though. They can't kick a field goal because they're down by 4.
A big play looming.
So it's not like they have a field goal to hold their head on. They got to go for it. Clinton held on to the ball too long. He held on to the ball too long, and New Orleans gets that important sack. And, of course, Matt LaFleur very upset. It's like, bro, throw the ball away. Well, now they have to go for it. Fakes the handoff. Is this it? Well, it's not it. Well, actually, it is it. What am I saying? Because they do not get, not only do they not get the first down, they don't even get the touchdown. And New Orleans, by the skin of their teeth, hold on. And the Saints are going to the Super Bowl. And can you believe this? Like, I expected the Cowboys to make it on the basis of their talent, or especially the 2023 team, and the additions that they made with, you know, Azriel Black, Patty Chase, Blade Charge, the linebacker, and their kicker. Oh no, I'm sorry, Patty's the kicker. My bad. And a wide receiver. But the New Orleans Saints have pulled off the upset as the Green Bay Packers were the #1 seed.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use
which means that Brandon Spike Ryan Cornwell, as the GM for the New Orleans Saints, is going to the Super Bowl to face off against Azriel Black, who is the GM for the Cowboys, and his team in the Super Bowl. And that's it. The Saints have marched in to Green Bay, and Matt LaFleur, who, and although don't feel too bad for the Green Bay Packers, because, you know, last season they did win the Super Bowl. Last season they did win the Super Bowl, so it's not like they haven't won it, but they won it last season. But this time, they don't make it back. And another storyline was that in the other game, it was the House of Black. It was the battle between the brothers on each team. Atticus Black for the Miami Dolphins and Azriel Black for the Cowboys. I mean, last season it was the Super Bowl was between those two brothers. But this season it was between those two brothers, but to go to the Super Bowl. And the brother that made it to the Super Bowl was the one who lost it last season. Can he get redemption? Or is Spike Ryan in his very first Super Bowl going to win it and bring the Saints their second championship in 4 seasons? That's the question. As the Saints have marched in and eliminated the the Green Bay Packers, so that means that by default, the Cowboys will be the quote-unquote de facto home team, and the Saints will be the road team, but I don't think that's going to matter all that much because they're going to the Super Bowl. Going to the Super Bowl has to feel as special as getting a marquee match at WrestleMania. I'm not sure if Wesley knows about WrestleMania, but if he does, let me know. Well, both quarterbacks were okay. They didn't play lights out. I mean, Clinton completed more passes, and he had more yards, but the completion percentage goes to Brandon. And while Clinton didn't have an interception, he didn't have a touchdown either, whereas Brandon had each of those things. I'll just go through some of the stats really quickly. Only football, but I know it's wrestling. But what's about it? Well, basically, it was billed as the Super Bowl of wrestling. Like, it's a spectacle. So that's kind of what, basically that's the World Wrestling Entertainment's answer to the Super Bowl is. But there's no doubt that without the Super Bowl, that WrestleMania isn't what it is today. But it all goes back to the Super Bowl without question. And it goes all the way back to 66 or 66 going into 67. But anyway, let's see. So Alvin Kamara had the most yards rushing, even though Romeo Doubs had the highest yards per carry. Nobody had any touchdowns. Let's go to the receiving. Doubs had the most receptions, and Juwan Johnson had the most yards. Barely, but close. Chris Olave had the highest yards per reception, but he only had one, so what does that say? And Rashid Shaheed was the only one that had a receiving touchdown. Wait, Chris Olave is alive? Yeah, he's alive. See, look. There he is. Oh. And, of course, Zach Tom had the one sack allowed. I have a feeling that if he doesn't allow that sack, that we could be looking at a different game. But we'll never know. Quay Walker had the most total tackles. And then 5 guys are tied for the most tackles for loss. And DeMarco Jackson had that one big sack that led to that ultimately led to the Saints winning that game, or winning this game, I should say. I can't talk. He gets killed by Derek Carr in real life, though. Wait, what? Wait, did he die or something? Am I missing something? Or is this just in your head canon or something? Yeah, I imagine, though, Spike Ryan. Okay, so here are some of the kicking stats. But, I mean, look at this. 3 punts for the Packers and then 2 for the Saints. I mean, that just tells you how much of a defensive struggle or an offensive struggle it was. Oh, yeah, like... I mean, the thing is, he has to remember that this isn't the this isn't the early 2000s. Like, you could probably get away with such things like that, but well, actually, no, I don't think you could. But I mean, those are bad. I mean, he's trying too hard, is what Derek Carr is doing. Like, I get it. You want to be a hero and you want to do well for your team, but at some point you have to know, look, why make it harder on yourself? So, and the fact that you're putting Chris Olave in danger for doing that. That's the part that Derek Carr has to know. And you would think, having been in the league for 8 years, he would know that. But I guess it's too much to expect, an old dog to learn new tricks. But it is what it is. All right, so the Super Bowl is set. Now, as far as when I'll do the Super Bowl, it's not going to be this weekend. I might schedule it for the weekend of. Let me get my calendar here. The weekend of November 23rd and 24th. So, of course, the Madden Super Bowl will be in prime time. So I hope you guys look forward to that. I know Wesley's going to look forward to it. I know Spike Ryan is going to look forward to it. And I know that Asriel Black and Patty and the others are going to be looking forward to that as well. But for everybody else, including Wesley and whoever else is still in the chat, I hope you look forward to it. But for now, I will be live on Saturday for a special WWE 2K24 wrestling show. I'm also helping my good friend AJ with his show, Cyberspace Federation. And for Wesley, or for anybody that's watching this, especially if you're watching the replay, if you're interested in checking out video game wrestling, definitely give it a try. I mean, at least try it, and if not, at least you gave it a shot. But whether you do or not, that's your call. But one thing I will say is that I look forward to that show and to one other show that we're going to do, and that is UFC. I don't have UFC 5. I have UFC 4, but that's only because I don't have a PS5. And I would have gotten the UFC 5 game had it not been exclusive to the fifth installment of the PlayStation. So, I mean, eventually I'll get the PlayStation 5, but until that time comes, or until I save up enough money for that. Not to say I'm poor or anything, not to say I couldn't afford it. I can, but it's one of those things where I want to buy it because I want it. I don't want to buy something just to have it. Anyway, are you going to do college football? Sadly, I'm not, but let me I'll recommend somebody. I'm going to recommend somebody. Let me find somebody on YouTube really quickly. Hold on, because I know a few people who do college football. So let me just find my good friend, because I have a friend who can I have a friend who does that as one of his series. Let me see if I can find him. You have an Xbox and you want to stream. Okay. Well, I would say invest in a capture card. I mean, obviously, it pays to do your homework when it comes to, looking for, video capture devices that capture on the Xbox. And it also depends on which version of the Xbox you have. Because it will be very helpful if you, as you do your research, you and you know what, to be fair, I had a lot to learn too. Because before I was streaming, I used to have to record things. Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't screen record, but I used to have to record it. And when I first started out making videos in general, I used to use my phone and point it in front of the television. I used to have to do it ghetto style, because that was really the only way I could do it. partly because, well, one, I didn't have the money I have now. I'm not saying I'm rich or anything like that, but I just didn't have, disposable income back then as I do now. And then second, I didn't have the technology or the means to do it at the time, even if I did have the money. And plus, the video capture devices back then are not as robust as they are today. So I honestly don't think you'll have to struggle as much as I did when I first started. But it still does pay to do your homework. I'll do everything. Well, I don't want to say I'll do it, but it pays to look it up. And if I find something that helps with streaming an Xbox, I'll pass on the knowledge to you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you, Mr. Wesley Turtle, to make that decision. Because I can make all the suggestions that I want, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, young man. It's up to you. Because and then there are the people that I say, well, you got to do this or you got to do that. And I'm talking about the people that are stubborn, not you, Wesley. But to the stubborn people out there, I can lead a horse to water, but I cannot make it drink. But in your case, Wesley, like, I can make all the suggestions, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to make that decision. Because at the end, it's your Xbox, it's your channel, it's your content. But whatever you decide to do, you just have to be you. And that was something that one of my old friends, his name was Ryan, that's what he taught me when I first started out. Just to be yourself. And that's what I will leave it at. Okay. And until then, well, I'll just say that I didn't come up with that. He also got inspiration, did my good friend Ryan. Well, not Spike Ryan, another guy named Ryan. He got that off of Mr. Rogers. And really, how could you go wrong with Mr. Rogers? But still, I will see you guys on Saturday, and I will also see you guys on Sunday. But until then, from all of us here, this is to Jew22 signing off, saying goodbye, and I will see you on Saturday. Have a good night. And hello to Jack from Saudi Arabia. No, I cannot speak Arabic. Like, I could try to be stereotypical, but it's one of those things where I'm like, why would I want to do that? But no, I cannot speak Arabic. I just can't. I could try, but it would just come out like gibberish. At least on my end, it would. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. And that includes you, Spike Ryan, and Wesley Turtle, and Patty. And AJ, who was in the chat earlier, as well as, yeah, that's about it. And Brandon Cuevas, too. I can't forget him, too. Until then, have a good night, everybody. All right. Have a good night, everybody.